What's going on, Vinyl community and Kiss Army? Welcome to the fourth episode of Council of the Elder, a series discussing the hottest band in the world with Kiss fans and people within the Kiss sphere, hosted by yours truly, the Record Spinner. Now, this fourth episode consists of my interview / discussion with Rick of the YouTube channel It's All For You Demon. Now, Rick is a one-of-a-kind Kiss Army soldier, one that truly hones in on the fun of being a Kiss fan, and that enthusiasm shows with his YouTube channel, It's All For You Demon, where he tackles the kind of topics that would excite any type of Kiss superfan. He also has an amazing collection of vintage memorabilia, magazines, vinyl, VHS tapes, posters, and so much more. So if you are not acquainted with his channel, I do highly suggest that you check it out. Now, this was an absolutely fun discussion because you'd think that Rick was submerged in Kiss fandom as far back as the 70s, but he actually hopped on the bandwagon around the late 80s. So he talks about his experiences as a Kiss fan. Now, if you remember around the time of Revenge, Paul Stanley wore a shirt that had his Star Child makeup design on it. Rick shares a great story as to how that t-shirt originated. And if you watch his channel, you know that his go-to album / era is Dynasty. So he explains why he gravitates towards that album, showcases some of the unique vinyl pressings he has of that album, and I share some of mine. And he recently authored a book called Rock and Roll All Night and Journal Every Day, which within a post-December 2nd Kiss world, his journaling book is a great way to keep that Kiss fandom in check with a variety of fun topics to explore. And we also discuss a bunch of other cool things on top of all that. I've done enough babbling, so without further ado, sit back, relax, and enjoy. So, Rick, let's go back to the very beginning. What was your first initial exposure to Kiss?
Very first would have been like first grade, 1980, 81. A girl in my class had the lunchbox.
Oh, really?
And I remember just staring at it on the playground. Everyone set their lunchboxes on the side.
Sure.
Of the playground. And I remember just staring at it, that orange and black.
Mm-hmm.
And I had no idea who they were. And I just thought it was the coolest thing ever. And recently, I found out, my mom told me, probably around the same time, our neighbor would have been in middle school when I was in first grade.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, I came home and asked for a Kiss poster. And I vaguely remember him having the U.S. Tour poster. At the time, I didn't know it was the U.S. Tour poster. I just remembered the bandage and the blood.
Yeah. Spirit of 76.
I must have been like fascinated and scared of the poster at the same time, but thought they were cool. And she said I asked for one, and of course she said no. But my mom was pretty religious, so there was no
really
a Kiss poster was going to enter our house. But
you know, it's funny. I had my slight rebellion when I was younger. See, it's funny, not with Kiss, but I remember I would have to hide Ramon CDs under my bed.
Oh.
Just because, you know, songs about sniffing glue and teenage lobotomies. For me, I just thought the music was great. But we all have our hurdles growing up.
Yep. Exactly. And then, like, pretty much they were not in my wheelhouse. 5th grade, I fell in love with Motley Crue. And thankfully to MTV and the Home Sweet Home video, or Home Sweet Home being a pretty song, my mom allowed Motley Crue. So I became such a Crue head.
Sure.
5th grade all the way through my freshman year. And then it was my freshman year, my best friend Danny, who was a fan in the 70s, he came up to my house with Phantom of the Park rented on VHS.
Yeah.
In the Gene Simmons solo cassette.
Wow.
We watched Phantom, and I just fell in love with it. I mean,
really?
I love. And I remember he asked me that night, he said, do you only like them because they wear makeup? And I was like, no, not at all. And I was lying. I mean, it was the makeup. It was the theatrics. It was the boots, everything.
Sure.
I mean, I'll admit it. I fell for the gimmick and I loved it.
You know what? I feel like my upbringing, like as a Kiss fan, starting to get like, for me, my exposure goes back to when I was like 2 going on 3 years old, and this is when the farewell tour was going on,
Mm.
and VH1 was running segments all the time. And like I was subjected to music at such a young age. Like my parents are big progressive rock fans. We had VH1 on all the time, so I knew like things like Red Hot Chili Peppers and things that were current at the time. But then Kiss came along, and again, I think it was the fact that they were so different to everything else that I was exposed to. I saw makeup and outfits, and I'm like, okay, that's different. And I was immediately gravitated to it. So I think for myself, to a small degree, it was also the gimmick that kind of sold me on it.
That's
But
awesome.
but that's interesting too that you had mentioned like 1980 was around the time when you first became exposed, and we'll kind of segue in at some point about your love for your favorite Kiss album. But you kind of hopped on right as they were changing and shifting and continuously evolving, but like we're talking drastic changes. So like you had disco at Dynasty. 1980 obviously would have been Unmasked, so that's pop. And then going into 81 music from the Elder. Was it a real hurdle to kind of backtrack and work your way backwards and see what they'd done during the prime years of the 70s, or do you have like this affinity for that period because that's when you hopped on board?
No, when I became a fan in '88, um, Smashes was out,
Okay.
and so that was my first, almost like my Bible. I just
Sure.
remember like a Christmas break that year, just playing that tape over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, that was like one of my first Kiss CDs, and
Yeah.
I just played that CD over and over again, and it helped a lot because Danny was 4 years older than me, so he would have been 8 in '78.
Mm-hmm.
So he had the Gene Simmons solo album back then. He got Paul Stanley solo album for Christmas.
Yeah.
So he could tell me like these things, like when he was a kid, he thought all the members played on the solo album. He thought
Mm.
On a Star was Ace singing. And so like little things like that made me live vicariously through him, but also just I had a key into that, 70s period. Like I'm sure
Yeah.
you did with your parents,
Yeah.
you
You know
ask
what?
anything and they could tell you like history bits and
Mm-hmm. Yeah, luckily for like you mentioned, like with my folks, like my dad was a fan back in the day. Like he saw him at the Tower Theater in Philly, like
oh
on the
wow.
on the Dress to Kill tour, which was like
Dang.
which was like what, a week or two before Kobo. And
Wow.
then he saw them at the Spectrum on the Alive 2 tour. So he kind of had the background, but like he dug the music and the aesthetic, but it wasn't so much the dolls and everything else.
Yeah.
I kind of inherited that myself. As a matter of fact, I stopped over at my local Spencer's, and I remember like I think it was like early 2000s, they had like an exclusive deal with Spencer's Gifts. And for me growing up, for my Kiss fix, it was always off to Spencer's and get whatever McFarlane character
Oh yeah.
action figures were coming out. I kick myself now because I was what, 3 4 years old. I enjoyed the hell out of them, but if I only kept them in packaging, if I
Yeah.
only
And the beauty of that is you got to experience kind of the Acoin era in the Spencer's era because you were
that's fair.
little and it was like a toy store. Like
That's fair.
I mean, I'm not ashamed to admit it. I love the Spencer era.
Yeah.
Like going into a Spencer, I just got goosebumps thinking about it. Going into a Spencer's back then, '99 was
Mm-hmm.
magical. Like you walked in and you're like, they had the Dynasty Bears. Like,
Yeah. Oh my God! You
you're
just
just like,
unlocked
oh my
a
gosh.
you unlocked a memory in my head. I think that goes hand in hand with the joy of going anywhere and seeing your favorite band. And to be honest with you, like I remember, and for me, Sonic Boom has a special place in my heart because that was a new album that I lived to see come out. I remember, like, obviously they had the Kiss corners at Walmart, but like I remember you could go to Target and get like Kiss trading cards there, and like next to the Pokemons and the Yu-Gi-Ohs, like that was such a special time. These days, it's like almost non-existent.
Yeah.
It's such a different animal, but I'm longing for that. So 88 was kind of when you fully came on board. Was Hot in the Shade your first tour?
First tour, first real album to be released.
Okay.
First Kiss show. Yeah. And that's why, like you said, Sonic Boom's, special to you. Hot in the Shade's that to me.
Sure.
Like, I love the record. I won't ever bash it. I love every song.
Okay.
And it's just, I know it's got too many tracks. It's got 15
knock off a couple songs.
Yeah. But I just, man, I put it on and I'm back to high school, me discovering this magical band.
Sure, that's tremendous. Where did you catch that tour? Actually, I'm curious.
Bonner Springs, Kansas, May 10th, 1991. 1990.
90. I was going to say because 91 they took the year off. Yeah, that personally for me in that record, if they knock off 5 songs, you might have something, and if you take away the drum machine tracks and put Eric in the drum spot, it could rank a little higher for me. But the tour nonetheless. Look, I'm talking about as if I was there. I was born 7 years later, but like, look, I'm glad that I have Kissology too, and I can watch the Palace of Auburn Hills Pro Shot. Like that tour between the staging was cool, the set list, they were going back into the past majorly. That was tremendous.
And opening with I Stole Your Love was tailor-made for me because I just saw Phantom where they played.
Yeah, that song's in the movie.
Like, this is them.
That's awesome. And then you caught him on the Revenge tour, right?
Yep.
Okay, so I know I've seen the story somewhere, you've said, but so all the hardcore fans out there, there's the shirt that Paul wears that had his makeup on it. Hell, didn't he reference that? And what was the home video? Kiss Confidential?
Confidential.
So please explain the story behind that.
So my friend Danny had a Gene airbrush shirt and I had a Paul airbrush shirt. And I remember we told my mom going to that show, we're like, we're going to give our shirts to Gene and Paul, just like naive kids. And during the show, Danny held his up and Gene pointed at him. And so Danny threw it up and Gene like held it and then like stuck his tongue out and put it on his head. And Danny's like, do it. And so I took mine off and held mine up and Paul motioned like that. And I threw it up there and he looked at it and then he put it on his mic stand and it was on his mic stand the entire show. And now this show was odd because he was sick and they cut the set list short. Gene had to sing Heaven's on Fire. And so it was an odd Revenge show.
Is there a bootleg out there of that show?
No, there's no audio.
God, I'd kill to hear that.
Yeah, it's crazy. And off went my shirt.
Jeez.
And a year later or whatever, Confidential comes out. We're all in my basement watching it. And we get to that scene and he's wearing my shirt. And I just remember screaming, like everyone started screaming, and I was like, shut up. And like we rewound it and played it, and I was the guy he's referring to. And
God.
It's crazy, and like I've told it on my channel and I've told people and everyone's like, yeah, right. I've seen, he's holding up a different shirt. And I'm like, well, if you look real close, I mean, you can see it's the eye design and the hair here.
Yes.
And everyone's like, well, yours had sleeves. His doesn't have sleeves. And I'm like, he can cut the sleeves off.
Exactly.
Yeah. And the fun thing is he wore it in Argentina a lot. In
really?
94-ish era, 93, maybe 94.
That reminds me, because I think my copy of Kissology 3, my bonus disc is the Buenos Aires Pro Shot show. Must have been like the Monsters of Rock Fest. I'm going to have to go back and see if he was wearing that shirt then. But
yeah, there's every now and then someone will ping me and be like, there's some magazine on eBay from Argentina and he's wearing your shirt. And so I always try to buy him when I see him. But
that's awesome. That's a tremendous story. And it's great that you had that long-standing connection just between giving the shirt to him at the show, but then having it immortalized on that home video.
It's still one of those clips that like kind of jolts me. I'm like, is this real? Like, I mean,
for me, my kind of similar moment, and that's kind of on the same parallel. Were you at the Garden on December 2nd?
Yes.
Okay. Did you remember leaving the venue? There was the camera crew outside, and they were interviewing fans, like getting like firsthand like reactions to the Avatar announcement.
No.
Okay. So I was leaving the venue. I didn't get a gold ticket, by the way.
I think we were all running because we had our gold tickets.
Dude, like, first off, let's vent for a second for that show. Why did they shut the escalators off?
Who knows?
I'm like, this could go so smoothly. Like, what the hell? But I remember just seeing her, like, being amongst a herd of people, just slowly getting out. I'm like, let me just get back to my shoebox hotel and get on with it. But there was a camera crew right outside the entrance that I was lined up at. And I was like, I don't know what this is, but let me do it. So I signed this little, I don't know if it was like an NDA, but it was like a document stating, you authorized to be featured. And they were asking me, what were your thoughts on the Avatar announcement, which I don't know before I go into it, because we can zigzag into a whole bunch of stuff. What's your take on them announcing that at that last show?
I was disappointed, but I also thought it was kind of cool at the same time. Like, the thing I thought was cool was on the screens, like the Gene Dragon flew around and then fire went off on the stage. I thought that was like super cool.
Yeah, but that was unique.
I probably like you, I really wanted a tears and thank you. This means the world to us, and
My thing is, I went into that last show expecting the standard show. That way I wasn't going to be disappointed. Wouldn't have been great if they threw in a song or had whatever? Sure. I can see how they took such a high-profile event, such as their last show, to announce this. But at the same time, and look, I love Kiss. I love Gene and Paul. I kind of saw it as like a slap in the face to those that were very much emotionally invested. I was bawling my eyes out during Shout It Out Loud. Like, it hits people hard. And then when it's like you ever see the meme of like the water spewing out of the thing and you slap the duct tape on it. That's kind of what it felt like, pretty much. But anyways, I guess there was a film crew there getting some reactions. So I was like, whatever, I'll do my thing. And about a week or so later, I go on Instagram and I see like similar people that I remember in line being interviewed. Then all of a sudden it cuts to black and then it fades into me. And what's funny is that for the show, this is one of the corniest things I've done. I made a t-shirt and it said, "Do you watch The Record Spinner?" And then on the back it said, "Now you do," and it had a QR code. So, like, to see my channel name in a official Kiss Instagram reel
awesome.
Was kind of cool.
Oh yeah,
it was fun. But no, so it's cool that we kind of have like that similar kind of experience. Did you check out the conventions at all? Did they come to your neck of the woods?
No, I totally missed those.
Okay.
My friend Danny went to St. Louis. And
okay.
I remember, I mean, at the time I was 21, and like $100 was just a lot. And
I hear you.
I was like, I look back now and I'm like, $100?
Nowadays, that's a nosebleed for a Go show at this point.
Now, real quick on the Avatar thing, were you positive in your review of it?
Here's my thing, because I could tell it's in its infancy. And I know that like they announced when's it coming out, next year or 2027? Is that when they're projecting? Look, they're gonna fine tune it. And here's the thing: I'm not one of these fans that shuts it down immediately.
Mm-hmm.
I will go and see if it's for me. Now, granted, look, I have not been to any kind of Avatar event. I know ABBA does their thing in London, but I've never experienced anything of like a hologram of sorts. So I will look when the Vegas thing gets announced. Not to get confused with what's coming in Vegas later this year, but I'll check it out for myself and see if it's for me.
Yeah.
If it'll give that same. See, I don't know. I try to be optimistic, and I try to be that type, and I don't know. I feel like a part of me will like it, but again, we'll see when it happens. We'll see.
Yeah.
You know what it kind of reminded me of, since we're talking about Spencers and 90s? Kind of reminded me of the Kiss Immortals cartoon.
Yep.
A little bit, like very slightly, but obviously much up-to-date graphics. But no, it kind of reminded me of that.
Yeah.
So you had missed out on the convention's reunion tour, though.
I did go to the reunion tour. Nosebleed seats. It was at Kemper Arena in July of '96, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember, I don't know, like I left. I think I was imagining it greater than it was. I was so far away, and I had seen a tribute band before, and I really wish I hadn't, because I think the awe of seeing them in makeup was, I mean, I still loved it, but I just remember leaving kind of melancholy. Like I think I built it up in my head too much.
Okay. You know what? It kind of made me, I was thinking recently, because since I have Kissology, I was watching Tiger Stadium. And not even just like visually, but like listening to it. I can imagine for the people at the stadium, like it was like, oh my God, this is the greatest thing. The original four is back. But if you listen closely, I love them, but it was rough around the edges.
Yeah.
Definitely. I don't know if there was a point where they definitely like plateaued that and they kicked it up a notch. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, I can totally get where you're coming from. Now, because of that, did you still attend like Psycho Circus, Farewell, etc.?
I missed Psycho Circus. Psycho Circus didn't come anywhere near my Kansas City area. It was more in Kansas. And my friend Danny went to LA to see the Halloween show.
Oh, Dodger Stadium.
Yeah. For that. And so I missed out on that. And then I hate to say it, I kind of went under a rock for a while for Kiss. And it's very sad. Like I remember Sonic Boom coming out. I was all for it, but I didn't go to any tours.
Wow. So that was for what? Like, because you said you missed Psycho Circus, Sonic Boom. So that was what? A period of 10 years?
Pretty much. Yeah.
Wow.
I just kind of checked out.
I get it.
I don't know. I still loved Kiss. I mean, I still listen to them all the time and collect it. But like everyone loves the Sonic Boom colored vinyls. I don't even remember those coming out. Like I remember going to Walmart and doing the aisle thing and buying the M&Ms and buying the CD.
I have all 4 M&Ms in a tin somewhere.
And but like those vinyls, I don't remember those coming. Maybe I wasn't on eBay yet.
Sure.
So I don't know if and I was just kind of out of the loop. And Freedom to Rock was when I really got back into it.
Wow. So that's what, 2016?
Yep.
Wow. So that was a period of almost 15 years. Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. But I mean, I still collected. Yeah. But I don't think I was like in tune to the Kiss world, like, as I should have been. And I really got, looking back now, this is the trigger. I really got confused when it was like Peter's in the band, but Tommy Thayer's playing, or Eric Singer's in the band and it's Ace. And I'm like, what is going on here? Like,
I was going to ask you if the whole Tommy and Eric thing kind of threw you off, and that's what caused you to check out.
No. I love Tommy and Eric being in the band. Absolutely love it.
Yeah.
I will never bash that.
Yeah.
I never understood why people got so offended.
Mm-hmm.
But again, I became a fan in '88 when it was Eric Carr for a little bit, and then Eric Singer came in.
Yeah.
And so I was kind of, I guess, used to that.
You were familiarized.
Mm-hmm. And I love Eric Singer as a drummer.
Hell yeah.
I think he is one of the greatest drummers. I loved him in Alice Cooper. And I've never had a problem with it. Because much like you probably believe, Kiss is just fun to me.
Yeah.
And that's all it is.
that's all it is. Like, and you know what? It's the thing is, like, my first tour was Rock the Nation in 2004. So I never got to see the original 4. But for me, you know, Kiss is Kiss. Mm-hmm. Regardless, I mean, well, I don't want to say regardless of who's in the band, but like, you know, I don't go too nuts with the scrutiny of Tommy and Eric. They don't deserve it by any means. They kept the flagship flying for all those years. But no, so like that's always been like my Kiss. But what was it that brought you back to the dark side, basically? 2016, what was it? Freedom to Rock tour you mentioned. So what sold you again?
I really think it was because I wanted to start becoming a creator, because I started my channel in 2017. And so I think,
just right after.
I think I was getting that bug to like create. And I remember like I had a blog spot called Under the Sky Tower. And then I had another one called, remember that cartoon Dexter's Lab?
Yeah.
So my blog spot was called Devereaux's Lab.
I love it.
And like I would write little like, you know, cheesy reviews and whatnot. Like my favorite Kiss album is this, and here's why.
Yeah.
And so then I was like, screw this. I'm just going to try this YouTube thing. And remember, I'll never forget, much like you probably never forget, that first time you hit record is a scary moment. And
I've never watched any of my old content. I can tell you that right now.
Oh yeah. And I just remember, I think my very first video, I was down at Civic Arena in St. Joe talking about the Revenge Show. And I won't watch it. It's cringe. But I remember standing there holding my phone, just being like nervous as hell.
Aww.
Like, and you hit record and you're just like, well, here we go.
Sure. Oh my gosh, that's funny. See, I'm trying to think. Like, I've never really checked out with Kiss, but I think there were some periods where I had preferred some bands more than others. Obviously, like, and I had seen, like, my first show was Rock the Nation. Then I saw Alive 35, Hottest Show on Earth, the Motley Crue. I'm surprised you mentioned you're a crew head. Motley Crue co-headline tour.
I know, right?
I was going to say.
What was wrong with me?
Well, I'll tell you this. I think, because I saw that show in Camden, which is Camden/Philadelphia. I think that was the one time when I saw Kiss co-headline that the other band upstage Kiss.
Oh, wow.
Motley, they freaking delivered. They delivered. Actually, you know what's really cool? In the spare bedroom of my house, there's like space, like, you know, like when you go to like any venue, there's like those giant posters hanging up promoting shows. I have a poster on the ceiling promoting that Kiss Motley Crue show. Yeah, I'll send you a photo of it. It's the coolest thing. But like, I saw that. I saw the Def Leppard co-headline, the first end of the road. Yep. But like, but it was a period where, like, you know, as much as they were my band, it was almost out of obligation. And to be honest with you, that whatchamacallit, the all the Sam Loomis stuff was happening in 2022, and that like reignited my hardcore fanboy flame, basically. Like seeing all that footage on, you know, just get uploaded and dropped, and then obviously over time too, like when I started my channel, I had no idea that the Kiss bootleg circle was what it was in terms of vinyl. Like back when I was like in middle school and high school, I was going on, God, remember all those file sharing sites like Mega Upload, Mediafire? I was downloading broadcasts and things like that. But then once I got a little taste of what was coming out in the vinyl circles, that's when it really turned into an ugly beast. Let's just say that. But
A beautiful ugly beast.
yes, that's true. Listen, there's far worse ugly beasts to be amongst. So you came back on board 2016. You start your channel in 2017. How many times did you catch End of the Road that you got your last Kiss fix?
We went to 2000. Oh, we went to the first Madison Square Garden show.
Okay, that was 2019.
2019 in March, and then we went to both the first and second.
And at the Garden?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, I saw Philly back in 2019. And then they came. So what happened was they had a bunch of dates that they had moved because of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And they came to Atlantic City by the Jersey Shore. They were supposed to play Boardwalk Hall, but then they changed it to the Hard Rock Casino. And I paid like $200 for third row. Someone flubbed up and didn't add another zero in that price. Yeah. So I saw that, and that was the closest I ever was. That's probably still the greatest Kiss show I ever saw. And then on the last leg, I have a buddy that lives out in California, and I crashed at her and her husband's place, and I saw them at Palm Springs and the Hollywood Bowl, and then I made it for the Garden on the second. So.
Now the Garden on the first felt emotional to me. There was a moment where Paul's voice cracks when he was doing his kind of like thank you.
Really?
Yeah. And then on the second, it wasn't there. Like that emotion was gone. They were on, and that's the first night, and maybe it's just seeing it 2 nights in a row. I've never done that before. I've never seen a show night for any band.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that was too. What I loved about that whole experience was just the feeling in that city was amazing.
They literally took it over between the pop-up shop. They had the newspapers, the cookies. It was Kiss City. It was amazing. But also, too, like, it was great to see familiar faces that you see online, that you network with within the Kiss community. Yes, I say that with a K. That was the really awesome aspect of it. Did you at all get recognized from your channel at the show?
Yeah, a couple times. One of the guys was from, like, Ecuador, which was crazy. And I was just like, wow.
That, you know what, that just reminds me, I had a similar experience when the show was done and the whole clusterfuck of escalators not turned on, and I'm just like, all right, whatever's going on. Someone who spoke full-on Spanish saw me, his eyes lit up, gestured his friend to take a picture of us, and he's looking at me and just saying a bunch of stuff. I'm like, great to meet you, man.
That's awesome. That is just awesome.
It was so crazy. It was so wild. But yeah, that was a fun little weekend. It was awesome. Now, did you make your pilgrimage to where the loft was?
Yeah, we did all of that. We found where they did the Superman Clark Kent phone booth photos.
Hell yeah.
We found the Elder Door. That was fun.
Oh gosh.
We didn't get to do that the first time, and that was a big one.
Hell yeah.
So.
Oh, that's awesome.
Just seeing that stuff, like, because I grew up on bootlegs, and I remember around Kiss Alive 3, there was a clip on a bootleg of Gene and Paul going to the loft.
Yeah. Was it like a news segment?
What's that?
Was it like a news segment?
Yeah.
Was it on was that the Kiss My Ass video?
They show it on there. Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
But I had it on a Peter Arquette VHS.
Oh, and, wow.
I remember, like, Danny and I always saying, like, oh my gosh, how cool would it be to go there? And then, like, you're there and you're just like, did you get to do all that?
So I the next day, so let me think. The day that I made it to New York, I plotted my spot at the pop-up. Then I went to the Garden to do some pre-show merch shopping. Did all that. Went to my shoebox hotel. Went to the Dress to Kill corner. went to a pub, then I went to the show. Then the next day, I did the Loft, and I also did Empire State Building, for the tourist thing, but also the infamous photo shoot.
Yeah.
I was even talking to some people that were there when Kiss showed up. Like, I thought maybe they would have had like a special little corner or like an exhibit with like a couple of frame shots, but I don't know. Just it's a landmark, for how little it is in the Kiss picture. It was really cool. I definitely do want to go back there. I was supposed to do. I wanted to go to that Dress to Kill thing that they had back in March, but gallstones were not fun and not on my agenda, so that was not. Unfortunately, and I made stickers I was going to give out to fans, so that was just a wasted opportunity. But
you'll get back there, and I mean, it's just events like that are just like stuff we dreamed of as a kid,
Sure, yeah. It fulfills a fix, and I think especially now with them not touring anymore, it's little things like that are what's going to keep the fandom fueled.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be, I'm going to be a hypocrite and say bundles where you have to buy merch in order to get the vinyl, but the less I say, the better. It's frustrating, and I say that yet you're wearing the Dynasty shirt. Which do you have the fancy vinyl?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. But speaking of which, as for everyone that watches your channel, your album is Dynasty.
Yep.
And look, I love Dynasty, but my main question is why Dynasty?
And it's all cheese and it's all fun, but that's kind of me. When I became a fan in '88, Danny was kind of the ringleader of us, and my neighbor Brett was joining me kind of on this pilgrimage. So it was the three of us, and that first Christmas, we were all like, we're all gonna buy each other a Kiss CD, and Danny bought me Dynasty, and there was something about that cover, the snow, the Christmas tree, the disco fun of "I Was Made for Loving You." It just worked.
Mm-hmm.
And that Dynasty is forever a Christmas album to me.
Really?
I remember, I don't know, I just like playing it with the Christmas lights on and like holiday spirit, and it's just so roller rink fun.
You know what makes Dynasty a Christmas album? The frickin' inner sleeve.
Yep.
That screams Christmas right there. And look, here's the thing. I have this ongoing argument with my parents because they like white Christmas lights. I like the color ones.
Oh yeah.
Now it makes sense. And now I'm thinking of that light up, almost kind of zoomed up inner sleeve for the original album. That's fantastic. Now, do you collect vinyl?
Yes.
How many copies of Dynasty do you have?
Oh, unfortunately, I do not know. I have them here. I have some of my favorites here.
Okay, please show.
Here's some of my favorites. Do you just want me to kind of go through these? Speaking of, this was the Mylar.
Yeah, hold on. I got mine.
Yes. This cover.
Yeah, it looks tremendous. Here, we'll have some fun. We'll take it out. I mean, just for those, it's so hard to tell on camera here, but like,
so beautiful in person.
It's so great. Yeah, it really is. It really is.
Now, what did you think of the poster?
All right, I'm actually going to pull it out and look at it, and I'll tell you. It's a good mirror.
Yep.
To be honest, I think like it looks great. It's deluxe. I feel like I would have preferred a different cardstock, maybe
Yeah.
I don't know, something, but it's cool, but it's very, very reflective.
Very reflective. But I remember the first time I saw it, I was just like, oh.
And the vinyl itself looks so sick too.
Mm-hmm.
It looks so awesome. I'm kicking myself because I was at a record store years back, and they had the green vinyl version, which I think came out in 2019 for the 40th. Mm-hmm. And I'm kicking myself. I should have done that. Now, did you fork up for the picture disc?
No, I always miss those.
For me,
I'm never fast enough.
Well, my issue is, I mean, first off, they sell out in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But also, like, if you do the math and you take away the fancy, like, apparel item that they include, $150 for a picture disc? I don't know. I mean, listen, I forked up for some bootlegs, and look, I'm one of those psychos that has the vinyl super deluxes of Creatures and
Nice.
Destroyer, but like I don't know, there's some things I draw. I say that, yet I have those, and I'm looking dead right at them. But anyways,
now did you get the glow in the dark creatures or the black?
glow in the dark.
There's no shame in that.
Well, dude, you know what it was? Because initially, so apparently, because glow in the dark is exclusive to Kiss Online, and I had heard that the black vinyl was going to be available retail. And I was working at a shop, so I was like, okay, wholesale, whatever. And then I heard that wasn't really happening. And then I saw that glow in the dark had sold out, and I was like, first off, I was like, wow. But then magically one day back in stock, and I'm like, all right,
why not?
Let's go. I mean, look, do I love having all the demos and outtakes and live soundboard tapes? Fuck yeah, I do.
Yeah. I mean, and plus, you have glow-in-the-dark vinyl of Creatures of the Night. At the end of the day, you just say that. That is so
fitting.
Cool.
It's fitting.
So cool. Here's Australia.
Okay.
This is kind of fun because it actually says,
I see.
Contains I Was Made for Loving You.
Oh, that's cool.
This is Ecuador. Got a little Casablanca hype sticker there.
Oh, that's cool.
Argentina, of course. Dynasty.
Oh.
That's fun.
Hell yeah.
This is El Salvador, nothing special. It's just so beat up. I love it.
It's cool. It's aesthetic.
Sometimes I love these, the South American countries. Here's the German red.
Oh, yeah. Gorgeous.
And then another Germany without it's just got the red band. It doesn't say.
Yeah.
Poster. This is like a German boot.
Oh, is it? Yeah, it has like the fake poster. Yeah. And
then, of course, you got to love the Obies.
Ooh, that's beautiful. Did you ever come across an unairbrushed cover?
Nope. I held one at a record convention.
Uh-huh.
And the guy wanted 1,000. I couldn't do it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oofa.
Yeah.
Yikes. I didn't mean to cut you off. There's that yellow Japanese.
Oh yeah. So this is the Poly Star.
Okay.
And then I go nuts for like these crazy like maxi singles.
Oh sure.
The Mexico Dirty 11.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There's yellow, green.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then these maxi singles are so much fun.
Oh hell yeah, that looks awesome.
And then I love this one. This is the last one I grabbed. I just love a 76 picture
on a 79 release.
Yeah. Those are kind of my favorites. I have multiple copies of different countries, but
oh my god,
Dynasty is the one piece, the one record I want to get every country.
Really? Okay.
I would, you see John 5 with like every country under the sun.
John 5
every album.
Everything.
Like, I don't have that money or time, so just focus on one.
Well, you know what? It's like the dude who has like so many Beatles White albums because all of the covers are in various states of just whether it's down to wear or just the doodles on it because it's a pure white cover. So artistic freedom is enabled in some people. But that's awesome. I literally right before we went on, I pulled my Dynasty section out of my collection. So we'll do a little show and tell on both ends.
Awesome.
I think I may have sent you a photo of this in one of our correspondences. Check this. This is a bootleg. This is called. Do you have this?
No.
If you go to Brian's Kiss Vinyl on Facebook, you might get lucky.
Always wanted one.
Oh, dude, this is great. So for those that are watching, this is Dynasty Preloaded. This is a bunch of demos from the Dynasty period. What's fun about this is that you have some Peter tracks that appeared on Out of Control. And then you also, you even have an early demo version of Only You from The Elder, which is so cool. And then you'd also get like the 12-inch versions of I Was Made for Loving You, writing sessions for I Was Made for Loving You. What else is on it? Yeah, there's a lot of, you know what? A lot of the Gene demos on here, straight from the vault. Straight up from the vault, and they all sound great. We got the anniversary vinyl. I have the same unofficial version as you, except this one has like a little sticker right in the middle. Now we're gonna get into some fun live. Do you have any live bootlegs from the Dynasty Tour?
I need to step up my bootleg game. I don't have many bootlegs at all.
Brian's Kiss Vinyl is the place to go. I will endlessly plug it. Are you on the page?
No, I'm not on Facebook.
Tell him I sent you. He's based out somewhere in Michigan, and he's like the one dude in the U.S. you can always count on to get this stuff.
Awesome.
But here's the fun one. And do you at least, aside from vinyl, like, were you big into like collecting bootlegs on CD or file sharing or anything like that?
Well, in my early high school days during the Peter Arquette era of what became Kiss Museum, I was very much into those. My friend Brett, we're all collecting together. He bought the I Was Made for Loving You writing cassette.
Yeah.
And I just remember like, it's so long, and we're like, okay, this is kind of boring now. I mean, it's neat to hear, you know.
It's like it gives you that fly on the wall experience, but then you realize, I don't know if I should be here.
Yeah. After a while, you're like, come on, guys.
It's like, get it together already. But here, I do have some cool boots that I'll share. Check this out.
Oh, cool.
This is the greatest show on earth. This is that Lakeland rehearsal that they did, which I think was like the day before the show, like the tour started. So they were just running through the set. Paul's bullshitting his raps in between, and they're just going through the songs. You can hear Peter yelling at his tech for something, whatever was going on at the time.
Oh wow.
Yeah, this is fun. There's also Atlanta 79. Now this is not complete. It like cuts off, like, I'm trying to think. It like starts at King of the Nighttime World, then it goes into I Was Made for Loving You, and then it picks up, I think, at Love Gun and rides on to the end. So like the middle chunk of the show is missing, but like that cover is great.
Those covers are beautiful.
Yeah, they are seriously a knockout job, and keeps it in line with the layout of the original album. This I got rather inexpensively. This is an Ace picture disc, but it's the show in please forgive me if I'm mispronouncing it, Roanoke, Virginia. I think I got this dirt cheap somewhere just because it was a really good deal. So just to have it, because here's the thing when it comes to, first off, I mean, I love bootlegs, but I almost approach it as like having a library of sorts. Like, yeah, it's one thing to have a file on your computer, but like to hold it and then you get the bells and whistles packaging. I mean, it's sensational.
Absolutely.
This is one I'll actually pull everything out and show you. I think you'll love this. Check this out. This is called Too Much Catnip. What? This is a soundboard recording from Knoxville, Tennessee from September the 12th. And just to give you an insight on what these things look like, I mean, you obviously see the packaging. I'm sure you've seen them everywhere, but inside you get a giant fold-out poster. And hold up. Let me see. Is it in this one? Where is it? Oh, yeah, here we go.
Oh, my gosh.
You get these booklets, live shots, backstage.
Oh, I can tell you where I'm going.
I'm telling you, man, this is good stuff. But once you get bit by the bug, It's insane. You know what? It's funny. So there's some that I actually don't have from this tour. One notable one, because there was the pro shot video, is Largo 79. There was a pressing of that I don't have. But there was actually one from Madison Square Garden that was just recently put out that I just haven't gotten yet. Because to be honest with you, if you want to try to be on top of what comes out in the bootleg circles, it's insane because there's so much crap coming out. Hell, I think, you know what? I have them right here. I'll show these off real quick before we go into our next subject. Here's some of the newest ones that just came out. This is Tokyo 78. Because they did they did 5 nights at Budokan, and this is volume 1 in a 5-part series.
Wow.
So they're going to put out the other shows. So they got Gene, and of course, one cover for each guy, and then there will be a full band one. So, of course, you got to collect them all. And then this is Houston 83 soundboard.
Wow.
Which I had no idea existed. And it comes with the booklet, poster, all that good stuff. So it's
wow.
This is what unhealthy habits do.
I'm probably headed down a bootleg rabbit hole.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
But the last thing that we'll tackle, for those of you out there in the KISS community, yes, spelled with a K, Rick has actually put out a book about a little under a year ago. Rock and Roll All Night and Journal Every Day, a year-long guide celebrating the fun of being a KISS fan. Where did the inspiration come for this?
I think it all came from my early Blogspot days.
Okay.
I just loved writing about KISS. And so the dream to write a KISS book was always there. But I didn't want to do, Gene was born in Israel. Paul drove a cab. I didn't want to do that. And I didn't know how. I didn't know what, I wanted to be unique and kind of have a niche. And one day I randomly said to myself, if, KISS goes away, which they did, if KISS goes away, I could still have fun all the time with KISS. And I was like, I'm going to challenge myself to write something fun about KISS every day of the year. January 1st to December 31st.
Yeah.
And so I did that, and I was like, I'm just going to self-publish this,
Yeah.
And so instead of just like a fun thing, and kind of made it into a journal. That way it's a KISS book, but I didn't write it. You write it. It's,
fair enough.
At the end of the year, it's your book.
That's
to go
true.
Back and look at this point, I thought Destroyer was my favorite record, but it's really not. It's rock and roll. So
yeah, it's awesome, and I got to tell you, I think it keeps the fandom in check because, like you said, when KISS is no longer here, what are we gonna have? And I think a lot of the prompts in this book, I'll say, look, if for anyone that doesn't have this and you don't know what to expect, there's some prompts in here Did you purchase the Mego dolls from whatever? And there are some times I've had to think, I'm like, holy shit, this is deeper than I thought. And so if you're a diehard and you don't have this is great. So was this a thing where every day you thought of an idea, you're like, okay, jot this down for this day, whatever, and then you just assembled it at the very end?
The part of the challenge of myself was I told myself every Friday night I'm going to write 13. I don't know why I picked 13.
Okay.
And so every Friday night I would write 13, and sometimes I'd write 22 or 24.
Sure.
And I was like, oh, sweet. I'm a week ahead. And I just did that. And then, and sometimes you have to have some filler in there,
sure.
What's your favorite KISS song to slow dance to? Things like that. But I tried to keep it as nerdy and fun as I could.
Oh, it's nerdy as hell, and I love it for that. It's so nerdy. Hell, even my girlfriend, who isn't a massive KISS fan, she was flipping through and she's like, "This is awesome." And keep in mind, no context regarding the minutia or whatever. She's like, "No, this is awesome."
Thank you.
Now, off the bat, just out of curiosity, do you know what the sales figures are so far? Because obviously you
Yeah.
self-published this. This is on Amazon.
Yeah, Amazon.
And you can still get copies of this?
Yep.
All right.
And the way I created it is you could buy it 5 years from now. There's no year to it.
That's
and
smart.
I even put in a leap year day.
Just in case.
So it's always there for you. January 1st, as long as there's a January 1st through December 31st, you're set.
And even if you look on the back, you can see a very young, powerful, and attractive Rick wearing that Paul Stanley shirt.
Yep.
It's all full circle. But seriously, this is an absolutely fun book to kind of guide your way through the year on, and it keeps the fandom in check. So to anyone out there that does not have this, you got to get it for yourself.
Thank you.
Real quick, just to kind of wrap things up, obviously you have a YouTube channel. Please tell us all about it. Where can people find you? Where can they connect with you? Tell everyone.
My channel is It's All For You Demon on YouTube, and I have the same thing on Instagram. Instagram has, my YouTube and Instagram are both Kiss and my dogs.
Hell yeah.
My dogs infiltrate Instagram a little more because I take photos of them all the time.
Sure.
But I do a video much like you every Friday. I'm Friday nights, and my dogs are in it, and I just talk something nerd fun. I loved hanging out with my friends in high school on Friday night and going to a friend's basement and talking Kiss, and that's what I try to do with the show. You're just coming over to my basement and we're talking Kiss. Super short episodes. I like to keep them like 15 minutes.
That's prime. That's prime.
And just to have some fun. And, life's too short to, like we were mentioning earlier, complain about Tommy and Eric being in the band. Yep. We all love this band. This band is fun. It's changed our lives. And that's what I try to do every Friday night. Just talk.
And that's very wise. And I think a footnote there, and look, I'm not singling out anyone, like anyone that has a chip to pick about Kiss, whether it's Tommy, Eric, makeup, whatever, certain albums, certain periods, always remember there was something about them that made you a fan. Mm-hmm. Learn to embrace that. You know, for me, look, I am a hardcore optimist through and through for everything. And I always try to focus in on the good with that. But it's real quick. You made me think of something. You had mentioned like Christmas and Dynasty. For me, a wholesome Kissmas moment was back in 2007. I got Kissology 3 for Christmas, and I was literally watching the 1973 Coventry show on my TV in the living room while I was eating holiday Reese cups out of the Kiss mug I got for Christmas.
Oh man,
that was the most wholesome Christmas I ever had.
And see, I love that because that will never leave you.
Never.
Every time you see a holiday Reese's, you'll be like, Kissology 3. That's so beautiful.
I think it's always our mission to find something Kiss related with any ordinary object or anything that we encounter in daily life. We will find some way to tie it in with this band.
Oh yeah.
It's wonderful. Rick, thank you so much. This was an absolute blast.
Yeah, thank you for having me on. This was so much fun.
Hell yeah, man.
So there you guys go. That is the 4th episode of Council of the Elder, discussing Kiss Dynasty and journaling with Rick of It's All For You Demon. If you have any suggestions on future episodes and who to have involved in this series, please shoot me a comment down below. I'd love to know. And if you enjoyed this video, please go ahead, give it a like, and subscribe to the channel. See you guys in the next video, and most importantly, keep the records spinning.